Welcome back everyone to Builds, the series where we tune, design and race. This is episode 2 and today we'll be working on the Corvette Gr.4. The goal for this project is to make the car the best Group 4 car out there. So let's test it out and see how it handles. As you might already know, I'm a big fan of Corvettes. This car is no exception as I find the Group 4 Corvette to be extremely good to drive. While it isn't the fastest outright, it has decent pace on most tracks and it's quite stable too. There's not much oversteer and only a slight touch of understeer which we can easily fix. But the main problems I had with this car were its weakness in high speed corners, which was most notable while exiting the S's of Maggiore, and the fact that it's a bit unstable under hard braking, which is due to the suspension being too soft. This suspension setup also contributes to it feeling a little vague and understeery in some parts of the track, and that is the last issue we have to fix. On to the tune then. Our main goals for this tune are: improve the high speed cornering, make the car a bit stiffer and slightly decrease the understeer. For the first part, we're going to decrease the rear toe to 0.20 and we're going to increase the camber to 3.5 on both front and rear. We're going to increase the downforce to 250 on the front and 525 on the rear. This also serves in preventing understeer, which we'll talk about later. For improving the stiffness of the car, we only have to do a bit of simple suspension tuning. We'll increase the spring rate to 3.10 on both front and rear. We'll have the compression on 57-57 and rebound on 87-87. We'll keep the ride height as low as possible while maintaining a bit of rake in order to get the car pointed into corners better. We have already basically solved the understeer problem through downforce and ride height tuning, but putting the anti-roll bar on 4 and 5 helps to decrease understeer while also making the car feel light and pointy. I've also found that using a brake balance of -2 helps, and while these are my preferred diff settings, you can also use the stock one if you want to. Alright, so I'll be starting here with the hood. As you can see, I'm trying to follow the body lines of the car as much as possible, and that's creating a really nice effect. Now I'll be trying to black out the entire roof and the upper section of the body to create a two-tone effect. Another one of my favorite techniques is to black out a strip on the bottom of the car, which is what I'll be doing here. You might be wondering what this white line is for. I'm using it as a reference to cover up some of my excess decals, and that's a technique you'll see me use quite often. This entire section with the headlights and the side of the car is again just gonna be me following the body lines. So the basic design is looking great. Let's move on to the sponsors. One of my favorite aspects of designing a livery is interesting decal placement, as you can see in this part over here. I tried placing a Corvette skull here, but it didn't look that great, so I ended up removing most of these decals anyway. I'm definitely pretty happy with the design around the headlights. I think it adds a lot of interest to the front of the car. While I could have had the number plate only on the hood, I felt like having it also on the body would make it a bit more interesting. It was here that I realized that most of the decals actually don't look that great, and I converted everything to either black or white. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for Builds episode 3, which will be out quite soon. Anyway, this has been AfraidRacer and thanks for watching.